Hi, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Justin. We're from Blanchett here on Breaking Bread. I'm here with my guy Kevin Reese, the co-founder of ADE, an event planning and
Sir.
concert promotion company based in Atlanta. Kevin, what's good, my guy?
What's good, man? What's good? What's good? It's good to be here, man. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me. Appreciate
For sure, man. We were chopping up before we hit record here. I met Kevin some time ago in Atlanta through our guys Clay Barmore and TJ Mazzell. TJ is a ASAP Ferg's DJ and is doing his thing. And Kevin and I have kind of remained in contact from our Atlanta days. And
you, man.
I just wanted to bring Kevin on because I know he's doing his thing in the event planning space, some artist management space. So like,
Man,
would love
time
to just
flies,
kick it
man.
off. Yeah, would love to just kick it off and just say like, how'd you get started in the entertainment business?
Oh man, it feels like ages ago at this point, man. 2009, I was at Morehouse, and I was hanging around a group of friends who are now my business partners, and they asked me to help them pass out some flyers. It was like, hey, we need some help promoting this show. Can you just walk around the campus, pass out the flyers? And it was Wale. That was Wale's very first concert in Atlanta, 2009 March, which is crazy. And so I passed out the flyers, and then I started showing up to their meetings, their promotional meetings, just kind of just like sneaking into the door. At that time, there was about like, man, I want to say like 8 or 9 people that were part of the organization. They were just getting started, but I showed up, and they did that Wale show, and man, when I said that's probably still to this day one of the most ridiculous shows I think I've ever been a part of. So Wale, UCB, Ti came out, Bob was there,
B.O.B.
Big Country King, Yellow Wolf, and completely sold out crowd. It was nuts. The funniest story, Big Sean was backstage and trying to get on, trying to get on the stage for the concert. And we were like, who are you? Like, I don't know. I don't know who you are, man. Not just letting you just go up there and perform, you know what I mean? And like that was my image of our first concert, man.
Wow.
And no, we didn't let him get on.
That was my next question. I was like, did y'all let him get on? Or what's
No,
up?
we didn't let him get off. We didn't let him get off, man. Nah, but fast forward, we ended up doing his first show at the same venue. That was years later, but that Finally Famous tour.
Okay, good,
And
good. So y'all
yeah,
showed some love at the
we
end there.
show some love down the road. But yeah, man, that was my introduction to the music industry, and it was actually my first concert because I didn't go to any concerts or anything when I was in high school
Yeah.
or anything like that. But I got an opportunity to help that one, and the energy in there it was just different, and it kind of inspired me to want to continue to do music and be in that atmosphere. I mean, if you've ever been to a concert, a good concert, the right artist has the ability to like just completely control the energy of the room, and it's euphoric. So
Yeah. No, that's fire.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
you mentioned you did this. This was on Morehouse's campus or like at somewhere in Atlanta
This
or
was a this was at the Loft. The Loft. There's a few like major venues in the city of Atlanta. So Center Stage, the Loft in Wyndham. It's one of the big ones. It's like right off of 17th Street. So yeah, it was about 600 people.
wow.
It's real like shoulder to shoulder room that night.
We need that
I,
back. We need that
oh,
back,
oh man,
Kev.
man, I have footage from that show. Like it looks grainy because of 2009, but when Ti walked on the stage, like the floor literally was shaking. This is before he went to jail again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The floor was literally shaking when he walked on stage, and he just did this. Him and Bob did this crazy freestyle. Oh man, It was. I remember like running outside, like and calling my mom, like, "Mom, you can't believe it. This is crazy."
No,
Yeah,
that's fire.
man.
That's an epic moment to like say
Yeah,
that's when I got into the business.
yeah,
And so you
yeah,
say you did that Morehouse, and
yeah.
you're born and raised in Oakland. So how did you go about like making a decision from all the way across the country to Atlanta?
Yeah, man. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. And you know, that was just my life for a very, very, very long time. You know, I was an athlete. I was also the president of the Black Student Union in high school. And, you know, I wanted to transition to be a part of something a little bit more culturally relevant.
Yeah.
Um, and uh, be a part of men that were doing things that I wanted to do and uplifting people and educating themselves. You know, like I didn't think like that before I went to Morehouse. I think my initial thought was like I want to be in Atlanta because the women I see on TV are ridiculous.
You watch too much of that Freaknik, man.
Freaknik, Drumline. What was the other one T.I. was in?
Oh yeah. I know you're talking
Fucking
about.
Stomp the Yard,
Off the yard,
all
yeah,
that shit. All that shit. I was like, yeah, I gotta get down to Atlanta. But you know, like fast forward, you know, you matriculate through Morehouse. One of the best experiences that I've ever experienced. You know, it made you just proud to be a black man.
Yeah.
In America, it taught me a lot. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I give back as much as I possibly can to you know, just young kids. My brother actually just finished graduating from Morehouse.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he just finished. And you
Now,
know,
did your family go to HBCUs as well? Like,
I was the first. I was 100% the first, and you know that opened the door for a lot of other people in my family to consider HBCUs. You know, I had really good friends and cousins that you know ended up taking the path because I opened that door. My great grandfather went to Southern, but other than that, like I didn't. You know, not a lot of people in my family went to college.
right,
You know, I think my parents were first generation with San Jose State in California. They kind of started to change the narrative a little bit.
right.
And you know, I didn't really have a choice. You know, my dad is an attorney. You know, my mom was a business owner. So you know, it was college, nothing for me. Like, you know,
Right.
you go to college or you're gonna go to the military. You get to choose. I was like, I'm gonna go see what this college campus in Spelman look like. You know,
Facts.
and
Facts.
it was fun. And I actually didn't get into Morehouse when I applied, which was crazy. This is
Oh,
the tie-in for the story is so I didn't get in, but my mentor in high school, he was basically contacting the school in my behalf because I was like, I'm just gonna go to a junior college and I'll figure it out after that. But he was basically contacting the school. I don't want to say behind my back. That sounds shady, but you know, he was contacting behind my back, and they called me one random morning before school, and they basically admitted me into the pre-freshman summer program. So I had to fly to Atlanta to attend classes for a full summer before my graduation from high school. Like, you know, I had to fly back for graduation, then fly back to Atlanta. But and like that's also where I met my business partners, where I met Chase. That's where I met Jordan. That's where I met Greg. Like so, like the connect there is wild. You know what I mean? Like we all came in together before school even started, and you know, now you're looking at over a decade later.
yeah. So basically, this summer program, like if you would have not have done well, you would have not gone to Morehouse, right? Or how does that? Okay.
Yeah. So the it's called PSP. It's the pre-freshman summer program. So what Morehouse does, they admit like a handful of students in on a trial basis into this program to see if they can basically handle a college workload. So over the summer, I was taking classes and earning credits And then at the end of the program, they give you a certificate, and then you're admitted. But it's like
Sounds like training camp.
it was. It was very like very being on the fraternity line, being pledged for that summer, because it was intense.
Yeah.
When I was like, it was intense. Like we got haze. I'm talking sitting in the sprinklers. I'm talking waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning doing wall sits. I'm talking like it was it was crazy. Like PSP, I think was our last year. Our year was the one where they were able to like do some of the hazing rituals.
Yeah.
After that, parents started to complain. I mean, I got so many stories from PSP, man. Where, like, we have to wake up, we have to have our suit and tie on, and 100 degree weather, and in this line.
In that Atlanta weather, boy.
In Atlanta weather with a suit and tie, bro. I'm like, and then we had to do this count off. So it would go short to tallest, and you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way down to 112, 113. And if you messed up, you got to start off that bitch all over again.
Hell no.
You know how many times we would do that? You get to like 6, and someone would be like 19. I'm like, yo, what did you want?
That boy get beat up later, man.
Oh my God. We used to get so mad at that. But yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. So with all that, like with all you go through that whole process, like I imagine at some point you were like, what in the hell am I doing out here? Like
I was. I was like, I definitely second guess myself, because there was no girls for real. Like it was just 119 dudes in the dorms studying classes, and it getting hazed, and it was a mess.
Jesus.
It was a mess, but like I said, one of the best experiences I had, like looking back on that I've ever had.
Right. And you met your business partners.
I met my best friends. Like they're more than my business partners at this point. Those are my brothers. You know what I mean? Yeah. I done been through hell and back. Hell and back with them. We fight. We care for each other. Yeah, like those are blood, and I wouldn't have met them without the program.
Right.
That's or maybe awesome. I would have met them, but
we would have the same level of
Exactly.
So you guys go through the program, you do the party for Wale. Mm-hmm. Then where does ADE fall into this?
So after the Wale concert, ADE was birthed. Most people kind of fell out of the promotion game after that for us. So it just ended up being me, Jordan, and Chase. And we were like, let's come together. Let's create a business. It's just the three of us. So after that show, we did our first disaster show. Our second show was B.O.B. Ridiculous. It was at the Atrium in Stone Mountain. And our role in this was literally to deliver B.O.B. to the show. And we were just going to take a percentage. That's it. But the other person who we were working with, he was supposed to do the promotion and all the other stuff. 5 people showed up to that show. 5 people. I shit you not. 5 people total. B.O.B.'s manager was so mad. Like he beat up the promoter in the parking lot of the Atrium. I'm like, yo, this shit. Yeah. So that was one of my worst shows. But we did it. It was an experience. After that, we did J. Cole's first show, and then we did Wiz Khalifa's first show.
Wait, one second.
Okay.
Because you saying like all these big name hitters.
I know.
And you kind of told me you really didn't have no connections to the music industry. So like, how the hell did you guys contact these people to get them to come to the show?
So at that point in the game, it's definitely a relationship game, right? So we did a lot of our early shows as partnership shows. So the B.O.B. show, obviously we had that relationship because we did the Wale show. The J. Cole show we did in conjunction with Cam Kirk. This is Cam Kirk back in the day. Obviously, Cam is Cam Kirk now, but this is when, because we all went to school together, and Cam had the connection with J. Cole's management. We did the Wiz show with Sully. I don't know if you're familiar with Sully. He's another cat that went to Morehouse. And from there, those guys just wanted to do a one-time event. Like, we basically branded ourselves with the event, and we were able to kind of continue to do things around the city. We kind of use those shows as leverage to start having more conversations with artist management. It's like, if I say, hey, I just did J. Cole, and I just did Wale, and I just did B.O.B. and Wiz Khalifa, that opens the door for other conversations with other artist managements, right? Like, because they're like, oh yeah, I'll give you my show. That's fine, and that's really how it happened in the beginning. We just continued to kind of like leverage shows, and continue to do more. And we ran into a brick wall early on in the talent buying realm. I think the hardest part that we didn't really understand was the politics of the business. There's about, I want to say about five to seven like main promoters in the city that do every concert. So obviously you got your Live Nation, who does everything, all the bigger shows. And then independent promoters are the Center Stages, the Masquerades, the Alphas. So the agents give those guys the main shows. So we would basically be contacting the agents to try to get a show, and they would give it to the promoter that they knew. And so we had to kind of like shift at a certain point, and start basically partnering with these venues. So I would go to the Masquerades and talk to their talent buyer and be like, hey, I just want my brand on your flyer, and we'll help you promote this show, and just give us, $1.50, $2 per ticket sold. Boom. You know what I mean? And that ended up being great for us because it gave us more shows to leverage. Because now, we got Childish Gambino, now we got Kid Cudi, now we got Big Sean, now we got Travis Scott, like all these like enormous shows with these artists who are now like at this atmosphere. Now we can list them on our resume without ever having to put up a single dime for them.
Right. That's fire. The genius part there too was like you guys realizing like, I mean, maybe your margins weren't that high at that point, but you were like, look, we'll take the notoriety, we'll take the traction, and get the margins later on.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be 100% with you. We were losing money early.
Yeah.
we were losing a lot of money early on because we didn't understand how to really like budget things properly, right? So we would overspend for our artists, and even though we would sell out, we would basically either be breaking even or still losing money because we didn't calculate things. If J. Cole said, hey, I need $15,000 for this small show, we're thinking, oh, it's J. Cole, let's do this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were losing a lot of money. So the shift helped, we don't have to put up any money, and we can basically earn. All we got to do is go to these venues and contract out the shows they already have, and they'll pay us. So now we're getting paid, $2,000, $3,000 a show, which wasn't crazy. It's not a lot of money, but it builds up your resume, which is important, because the more you build up your resume, and the more you're on these email threads with other agents, which we were, it gives you the ability to start kind of like branching off and doing more. But we had to learn that shit the hard way.
Yeah.
We definitely had to learn that shit the hard way. I think our worst show, like from a financial point, was we did Kendrick Lamar's first show in Atlanta also. That was what, 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm. You guys had like all the hitters of the new school, man.
Yeah.
Or I guess not the new school, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that was kind of our calling card when we were coming up. Like, we were getting all these new artists right before they exploded. We also had ASAP, you know what I mean? But that Kendrick show was crazy. And I think this is actually around the time that me and you met, because we were doing some shit over at Kennesaw. And we were doing some forums on each of the campuses. It was called the Welcome to Atlanta show. And then it was then we did the Kendrick show. And we had Kendrick, 2 Chainz, Sci-Hi the Prince, Dom Kennedy, all in the fucking same bill.
Sci-Hi and Dom? Yo.
Sci-Hi, Dom, 2 Chainz, Kendrick, all in the same bill. And we it was an amazing show. Like historically, like if you go back and look at that, it's just like, holy shit, you guys had who? Right. Like that show is worth so many tickets now. That was back when 2 Chainz was still Titty Boy, I believe. But, you know what I mean? But
but wait, I'm sorry, go ahead. But how did you guys go about promoting these events? I mean, I guess IG wasn't as popular as it is now. Like, what was y'all's way of getting people out?
We used Twitter. Twitter was definitely one of our main vehicles for a long time. We built up a lot of followers. We did a lot of competitions, and we hit the streets. We hung up I'm talking 10 o'clock at night. We walking around Emory's campus, Emory's campus, Kennesaw's campus, Georgia State's campus, and we're just flyering shit everywhere. You know what I mean? Just got to get the word out somehow. And and Facebook marketing was still and is still the number one tool to do your marketing. You'll get those ads some way. Facebook will make sure. But yeah, we lost. We sold that show out and we lost $12,000. Right.
So I know you guys. There's 3 of y'all. How did you guys? First of all, not a lot of best friends start businesses together.
It's hard,
right? So you have this business, it's doing really well, it's losing money though. How did you guys go about defining y'all's roles and figuring out the vision of work and staying together as friends and then continue to thrive?
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I think we all are very different individuals. Me, Jordan, and Chase at that point. We're very, very different. I'm very on the operations side. I'm not in the streets as much as those guys are. They're people, and they want to talk and they want to be in those conversations in those rooms. I'm more behind the scenes, counting the money, talking to agents, making sure on the operational side. And I'll be honest, we kind of all just fell into our own separate roles. We had to kind of continue to carve those things out over the years. I think Chase fell more into that PR realm because after college he went to go work for Complex, and that he was an English major and he was writing for Complex, and that kind of transitioned him to getting a lot of PR contacts. And then Jordan he's just everywhere. He's everywhere, he is becoming such a humongous face and influencer in the street. And, he leverages those relationships to get things done. And then I'm more the person that just is turning the keys in the background to make sure the business stays afloat. And they'll tell you the same thing.
It's kind of dope to see how you guys have transitioned to Grey Goose Gibbs and
yeah.
How you guys have just kind of made your own little monikers, but y'all doing your things. And Chase is obviously representing Angel and Trent, and how that had taken off. So it's kind of dope to see how you guys have had this core company, but then done different things outside of it separately.
It's interesting, man. The development of us as men, it's very, because we definitely fought a lot coming up, whether them telling me that I'm not doing enough or me telling them I need you guys to be more responsive. You guys aren't doing A, B, C, D. There's always been, when you're building a business with your friends, there's no one that wants to fall in line and kind of take the lead. So you have to find different ways to approach certain conversations so that people are listening. Because I can't come into a conversation I'm the CEO and da 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 da, because they own just as much of the company as I do. So how do you get people to listen to you? How do you get people? How do you communicate with people? And that's just business structure and learning and maturing. At this point, we understand each other like the back of our hands, right? But early on, man,
I can imagine.
We used to butt heads, but we butted heads with the intention that we were going to build something amazing together. And we used to be in the streets, man, really just pushing and working and networking. We flew to Chicago, went to this big ass sponsorship conference. We flew to New York and did a presentation at the United Nations. There's just big rooms that we just ended up in, man. And it's just a blessing, man, just to fast forward and to look at where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. And so, and then now you guys, this has been going on for some time, but the Milk and Cookie Music Festival is like an extension of ADE, or like, talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I would say that it is an extension of ADE, but it's almost like a rebrand for us. So for a long time, we were basically outsourcing, trying to find money to do these shows. We were trying to book these shows, but we didn't have anything. We had a little something, but we didn't have any money to really book shows, which is why we went the route to do promotion for the venues. So we would talk to different promoters and try to form these alliances, and a lot of them didn't need us. They're already in the city, but we came across this promoter by the name of Bo. We got introduced to Bo by this large promoter in Austin named Sasha Stone. And if you don't know who that is, definitely look him up. Sasha is he's Tory Lane's manager. Okay. And he used to manage Dom, and he also owns the company Score More Shows, which is a humongous company in Texas. They produce jambalaya and shit like that.
Okay, I'm familiar.
So yeah. So Sasha put us in contact with Bo, and Bo was basically just kind of building his brand in the city. Like, he was doing these smaller shows and really just building, but he had the capital. But he had the capital to do more. And I remember after we came up with the concept for Milk and Cookies, which, the concept was, let's do this dessert festival because people love foods. And then let's combine that with the music community, and, let's make it diverse. That was literally the simplest formula that I could say that in, because we were at Mad Decent Block Party, Diplo's event, and we're just looking around at the diversity of the event: Black people, white people, Asian people, Indian people, just enjoying themselves. And we're like, yo, I want to create this. I want to create this for everyone. The ability that music has to bring people together is uncanny. Like, that's why people love festivals. You can go to Coachella and stand next to someone that you've never met before, and share this moment with your favorite artist. It's unreal, and you build friendships like that.
I know. You meet some people who like, how the hell you know these lyrics? Like, what?
Exactly. So that was kind of how Milk and Cookies was birthed. We're just looking around like, this is what we need, and then let's combine it with the dessert. So we went to weeks, maybe months later, we went to this Anderson .Paak and Toki Monster concert. It was at Terminal West, and we went into the back area of Terminal West, and we're talking to Bo, and I pitched him, and I said, this is what we've done. This is what we want to do. I know you're trying to build your brand. We already have a brand. We've been doing, this is what, 2014, 2015, we started in 2009. So we had been doing shit for 6 years at that point. And he needed our resume and our brand to basically leverage and get more shows. So we basically combined the powers, and we created Milk and Cookies. And he was able to leverage our entire resume to get agents to be like, hey, we're working together. This is ADE. They've done da 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 da. And from there, it's really just taken off. We've done 3 festivals at this point now.
Wow. And so I gotta ask, like, what's your favorite cookie, man? What you bring to the Milk and Cookie Festival, man?
I'm a big chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
And chocolate chip and probably snickerdoodle are probably my favorite cookies. Yeah, we got a partnership with Tiff Treats.
I was about to ask who y'all partner with for the festival.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Tiff's. Those cookies are so damn good, man. They gave us for our first partnership, they gave us money, and they gave us $15,000 in cookie money. Like, all right, we'll write you. Here's a check, and then here's $15,000 of cookie credit, so you guys can just. We still haven't used all that. Like, how do you spend $15,000 in cookie money? We finally, like, this is years later, we've finally down to about like $1,500 left of the cookie credit.
Yo, run those cookies up, yo.
Well, man, and they're so good. They're so good, man. We put a dent in it because when the pandemic hit, we basically just started sending them out to people just as hey, I know we're in a pandemic and you're stuck at home, but here's some cookies and some shit to cheer you up.
That's fire. That's fire. Yeah. And it leads to my next question, like, how did you guys like pivot in during the COVID and pandemic, like without having festivals?
Yeah. It was hard. There was nothing really that you could do, right? And we're still kind of getting back into the booking realm. It's fine. Like, the conversations for shows are finally kicking back up. We got a good 5 or 6 locked in for starting in August, which is beautiful. But last year, we had nothing, and we really had to kind of really just hit the pause button. And I think that gave birth to us doing other things. We really dug into the live stream shows. We decided that we wanted to be more content based, so that if anything like COVID ever happened again, we had something to kind of hang our hat on. Yeah. So we have begun, and they're going to be released very soon, producing kind of our own version of Tiny Desk / Colors. Okay. So we've shot maybe 10 to 12 episodes that we're about to air. But other than that, like, the shift was really just getting back in alignment with ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, it was amazing. Like, I know that COVID was very difficult for a lot of people, but financially, I think that we made more money in 2020 than we have. Yeah, because like, you just look at all the grants they were giving to Black businesses, and the payroll protection stuff, and the grants they were giving to the music industry. We were able to accumulate a lot of funds so that we can do more, like buy our own, get our merch under control, do the live stream shows, be more content driven, come up with more designs, take classes. One of the things that I personally did, when I kind of stepped away from the shows, was I took a music management course at NYU, and I really wanted to figure out how I can get into that realm. I just generally love music.
Yeah.
I generally love music, and I was like, what do I do right now? What do I do right now? If I'm not doing shows, like, what does life really look like for me right now? So I took the course and started working with this group called Midnight People. They're like a duo Black house group. Really, really dope, really cool aesthetics. They don't show their face, They want to don't show their face, like really like vibrant colors. Either they're wearing masks or it's just silhouette. Just the point behind that is really just, their music sounds white. So you want people to like really just vibe with the sound, not the color of their skin.
It's kind of like a Daft Punk.
Yeah, exactly. Very much like Daft Punk. That was kind of the structure that we went with them. I came in and gave them a whole rebrand. I was like, all right, I don't like what this looks like right now.
Yeah.
And like you have to have a strategy in this industry if you want to be seen. You already have a good sound, so what's the marketing? What's the marketing look like? So I took that class, and then I was also reading this amazing book by Donald Passman. It's called Everything You Need to Know About the Music Industry. It's probably the #1 book anyone in the music industry can ever have. You got it over there?
I got it, yeah, right here on the case.
I fucking love it.
Donald Passman, yep, I got that. Yeah, that's a great book, and it teaches you too in like layman's terms too. Everything from like the 360 deals and all that.
Oh my man! When I said I was, it reads like it's such a thick book, right? So some of that is kind of like hard to read.
Yeah.
But I was like stamping through that, like highlighting, ripping through pages, taking notes, like, and it kind of inspired me to want to get into that management realm. I even sent an email to Donald Passman, like, hey, like, there's so much in this book. Do you have study guides? I'm not going to retain any of this information.
Facts. He needs to do that though, for real. Because like it's a lot. I feel like you have to like listen to it a few times. I'm sorry, you said he responded to you.
He responded. Yeah, he responded, and he was like, thank you for your kind words. No, I don't have any study guides. But he said what he's seen in this industry is the best experience is just doing it. It's just being active. And it's true. Like you learn more by getting affiliated with the industry than you do with someone just telling you, hey, do this. You got to just kind of jump into the pond. And that's kind of what I did. I started managing them and not knowing how to manage an artist, but really just kind of focusing on what I was good at, marketing. So let's cook up these marketing plans. Let's see what those things look like. Let's figure out how to get you exposure. And then we can kind of shift and go through like what your releases look like and stuff like that. So I just started that.
I was gonna say it's a dope book. It's one of those like you have to read once or twice, and then it's like a la carte from there, like based on where you're at right now. You kind of just pick and piece.
Exactly. It's exactly how you got to look at it. You go like if you need to know something about a contract, you can flip right through the contract section. What's a 360 deal, or what. What's a publishing deal? What percentage does this need to be at? You can literally find the things that you need in the book.
There's like so many different intricacies too in the industry. I found interesting. I'm like, this artist sees like this percent, then it like comes. Everybody's breaking a piece. Everybody's breaking a piece off.
Exactly. So it's good to read that book just for your own knowledge, but like this is also an industry where you got to have the right relationships, right?
Right.
You got to have the right people behind you to kind of like steer you, to say, hey, like you don't want to do this, don't take this, And I think the years that I've spent on the other side of the industry doing booking kind of prepared me to get into the management realm, right? Like I built a lot of relationships with agents and artist managers. So, the shift for me in getting into this side of the business has been easy, to be completely honest, because I've got some pretty big artist managers, on my side that are giving me, just direction. So I started that in May. And then in November, December, I launched my first management firm, which is it's called Revi.
Revi.
It's French for dream. It's REVR. Yeah.
I fucks with it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So that's dope. And I think what you shared with me was really cool too. How like none of the artists. So you started off with like you got
Yeah,
B.O.B., J. Cole,
yeah,
Kendrick, all these
yeah,
guys, but the guys
yeah.
that you manage are not hip hop artists. Like none of them are.
None of them, man. So four artists that I manage, Midnight, they are just this house duo, very Daft Punk like you said, they don't show their face. The second one, his name is Trent in the Trees. He's this
I like the
he's this
name.
oh my god, Trent is like, please just keep him on your radar because he's gonna be I love the way the kid moves. He's so hungry and passionate. But Trent is he plays the guitar and he's got like this alternative rock, but like funk, like fusion into his sound.
Yeah.
He's this white kid and real grungy voice. But it's smooth at the same time.
Yeah.
So he won our Milk and Cookies opener contest at the end of 2019. We did a Divisions concert, and he opened up for Division. So all of 2020, Trent was in our inbox like, hey, is there any work I can do? What can I, can I perform anywhere? Can you give me some point, like, for the entire year? So when November came around, like, it was very easy for us to start having a conversation about management. To the point, now we're in May, and you know, we just did a release for him last Tuesday. And the third girl, her name is Jordan Danielle Harris.
Okay.
She's a pop singer, amazing, probably our hit maker. I'll say you got to have one artist on your roster that kind of like breaks you into the industry and opens some doors. That's definitely Jordan. She is, man. When we actually release her, because we're still like getting her shit together behind the scenes. I have the best internal feeling like she'll be the one to kind of kick things open. And the other one is a Black Deco. I don't even know how to describe. He's definitely more on the alternative side as well. Black kid, very interesting sound, but no hip hop, no. as of right now, I don't want to take on any more artists. This shit's crazy.
until you're ready to expand, but that's fire though, and I think that's really cool that you guys like you have a variety of tastes on your roster. I'm excited to see how it all shakes out when they start releasing and you put them out. You said you mentioned something about releasing content with ADE and Music Festival. Like, where are you guys releasing it? Is it like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook?
Yeah. So our YouTube channel is what we're going to be releasing it on, and in our IGTV. Those are the two things that we want to monetize, and kind of soak in some ad dollars on. Because of our ability to find and break talent, what we've been doing since early on in our career with a lot of artists, we've done that with, from ADE to Milk and Cookies, we've always kind of, broken talent, whether it was K Tronada, whether it was Brent Faiyaz, whether it was Gold Link, Neo, Amber Marks, fucking LMA, Queen Naja, like so many like artists just on the Milk and Cookie side, right?
Right.
Summer Walker, we did Summer Walker's first show. Yeah, like our ability to like break artists and just have a good sound for who's up next is gonna enable us to really like kind of get this content arm off the ground the way it needs to be. And I think people will listen. I hope people will listen when it comes out. It's very interesting. It's the episodes are very, 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 very colorful, but they're really about the performance. It's like this big ass like LED wall in the background, and just these images kind of spitting at you while the artist is actually performing.
That's fire.
Yeah.
It's like a new age unplugged. It sounds
yes. So we're editing everything right now, and we're gonna start releasing them hopefully top of June. That's my goal.
So after going through this like pandemic, and then obviously like the music, Milk and Cookie Music Festival, kind of taking a step back, you're doing the artist management stuff. Like, what do you feel like the future of this, like the festivals and this content looks like going
Yeah,
forward?
man. It's I think it's going to come back stronger than ever. I think the government did a really good job in plugging money back into the promoters and venues, the music industry. They released about $15 billion to festivals and promoters. It's called the SVOG fund, because they knew you can't just let this die.
Right, right.
Music is such an important part of people's lives. Like I can't see it necessarily like going anywhere. And the live streams at home were cool, but it doesn't beat an in-person concert. There's an energy that you get as an artist from an audience that you can't get from a live stream. So festivals have already started back up. The dates have been released. Obviously, Rolling Loud.
That's what I saw. Rolling Loud, yeah.
Completely sold out. What's the one in Vegas? I forgot the name of it. There's like 3 or 4 that I've seen that have released, and basically they all sold out because people are ready. They're ready to go back to shows. You know what I mean? And for us, like I said, we have right now probably like 6 or 7 concerts coming up toward the latter part of the year, and and then we're working on our festival as well. We'll probably hold the festival till 2022, just to let all this other stuff kind of sit through, and we'll just focus on the shows. But it's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back strong. But like to your question, like I think that this realm of the music industry isn't going anywhere, right? Like it's gonna come back, and it's gonna come back stronger because it's so important, for us internally. Like it is. Music has like I said kind of earlier in the conversation, music has such an ability to lift your demeanor, and I think you need that after going through what the world just went through. People need music, and they need people to come together and kind of like get through this shit, and kind of like, hey, let's hold hands and come out of this shit strong together. It's something. It's almost like something spiritual about it, right? Like, yeah, we're going, we're out, we're done. Let's not look back at this shit.
No, for real. So like,
what I mean?
What would you say to like the next generation of like Black men and women who are looking to become entrepreneurs, looking to get in the entertainment industry? What do you feel like has been the secret to your success, and like how do people break into that industry?
Yeah, man. I would tell people to what my dad told me when I first got started, that this industry takes time and patience. So if you're wanting to really be in the entertainment industry, if you want to be a talent buyer, if you want to be an artist manager, you really got to put the time in, and really have patience, learn. And I think, that obviously our generation, the younger generation, is the instant gratification era, where we want everything handed to us immediately. But I can honestly tell you, if you would have gave me the keys to the ship back in 2009 when I started this, I probably would have crashed into a tree. You know what I mean? So you do have to take the time and learn your lessons. I tell kids, younger kids, to fail as
have a
much
few BOB moments.
God, you have to. You do, man. I'm being that. Like, you have to fail. You have to fail as much as possible, but learn from your failures. Fix those things. Learn how to adjust. You know what I mean? And don't give up. You have to be persistent. Like, the life of an entrepreneur is hard. It's hard, but it's gratifying once you get to the point where you can be self-sufficient for yourself. Yeah. I don't go into an office. I don't work for anybody. Like I make my own hours, but I make hours. I still have to, I build my business. I have a schedule that I maintain. This is some of the stuff you have to learn as an entrepreneur. It's not just like, oh, I'm making money and sit my ass down. No, I'm on go. every day. I work hard. I work harder as like just not working in an office than I do working in the fucking office.
Yeah,
You know,
because
right?
you're working
It's
for
like
yourself. It's somebody on person you can rely on is yourself, and I guess your other
exactly.
partners.
If I'm not making money, I don't eat. So, you know, like I do. One of the biggest things I continue to tell people that want to get to this industry is pay your dues. You know, work under someone. Get just accumulate the relationships and really be patient. You have to be patient and learn.
Yeah,
You know, but don't be scared either at the same time. It's like a kind of a balance to
yeah,
me, right? Because I'm spitting this scary shit at you, like, yeah, fail, you're gonna fail, you're gonna fuck up, I want you to do all this shit, but you gotta do
yeah.
it.
You
you
got
gotta
to
you got you got to
just do it
do it. Like,
now. Do it now while the stakes are low, for sure.
yeah, man, yeah, you know, it's the part of your maturation. You know, you gotta graduate, you gotta go through your pitfalls. You know, and to the point you got to the point where, like, after you get to a certain point, you know how to navigate, you know how to maneuver, you know, like when you're about to fail something, that you can be okay failing that piece and going into the next room. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people fail early on and be like, damn, I fucked that up. And you just go get a job now. You know,
You got to
you
stay in,
know,
stay entrenched.
you got to stay in the trenches, man. And you know, that was a hard lesson I had to learn. You know, for me, it's coming from a very like affluent family. You know, with both of my parents were like, "Yo, you got to go get a job. You got to go and get. I can't. You can't do this anymore." And me just be like, "Nah." You know, I worked in a pizza restaurant for 6 years.
I visited
Working
you
in, yeah, man,
by
yeah,
Tech,
man,
right? Georgia Tech,
yeah,
I think,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I worked there for 6 years, um, just grinding, and you know, like it was time that couldn't pay my bills, had no gas, had no food, you know,
Yeah.
like, and that's that artists talk about this in their music, all this, that emptiness in your stomach, that, like, you know, like it's like burning fuel. Like, you just, yeah, I'm fucking starving. Like, if I
Yeah.
can't do this shit, like, I don't, you know. I think that one of the best advices that I ever got was from Jay Carter, who owns One Music Fest.
Mm.
And I remember early on when we were helping Jay when just promote One Music Fest, and he was yelling at me, Jordan Chase, in his office. He was like, "Y'all motherfuckers ain't shit. Y'all just be bullshitting on your promotions, and honestly, until you take this job as the only thing that you have, you will never be successful. Until you stop treating this job as a hobby, and so you start treating this job that this is the only thing that you can do to get by, you won't be successful in it." And that shit sucked when I heard it. I was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You know,
They hit the ego a little bit.
yeah. But I tell Jay now, like, yo, that was one of the best pieces of advice, is because, you know, as an entrepreneur, you have to be all in. You have to treat it like, treat whatever it is that you're doing like, this is the only thing that I have to do, right? This is how I'm gonna eat. So if this didn't work, this may work. If that didn't work, this has to work. If, you know, and you have to be able to shift and move and figure out what it is that you have to do to get to that paycheck. So yeah.
That's fire. No, I appreciate you sharing that. That's
Yeah.
a really good lesson for anybody
Yeah.
who's looking to get in the industry. Let's jump really quickly into the lightning round, and it's kind of a
Yeah.
follow up to that last statement by you. Who in the industry do you admire? Like, whose work do you admire the most?
Whew. Um, I definitely admire Jay Carter. I think he's definitely up there. I love what he's built. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with Shaka. Shaka. He helped start DTP's Ludacris's
Okay.
business manager. Yeah. Shaka. Shaka is like, he's king in the industry right here. Just kind of like, if you compare like someone in my realm and someone in his realm. Jordan and Shaka have two very similar trajectories, right? Because now Shaka works for Spotify. He's invested in Slutty Vegan, and just mad other shit. Like I respect how he moves as a business person and how he educates the youth, continues to give back, puts the city of Atlanta on constantly. You know, and then obviously Jay Carter and what he's produced with One Music Festival. And then on the talent buying game, you know, I admire Tim Sweetwood. He started a festival in Atlanta called Shaky Beats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Tim gave us our first promotional start. So he used to be the talent buyer over at Masquerade, and he left Masquerade at some point, and he went and started Shaky Beats. Fucking huge. You know, and you know, we wouldn't be here without Tim being like, all right, he was an asshole about it, but he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you guys these shows and get the shit done, basically. And trying to think who else, man. There's a lot.
That's dope. That's a dope lineup. I love the Shaka one, especially like for myself. Like I'm trying to get into the investment game as well. So like I love how everybody's being diversified. Everybody's like getting into these rooms that we weren't necessarily always in, to be able to use some of these funds and get some venture started up. So,
exactly. He is definitely the person to talk to about that. Like there's a couple spots he's invested in Atlanta, and that are just completely blew up. Obviously, Slutty Vegan being one of the biggest ones. Him and his brother Jeff, Big Jeff, they helped start TTP, and they are very, like, I say, very influential in the things that I watch, and the things that they say definitely help kind of like cultivate me and Jordan and Chase and how we move. Eventually introduce us to a handful of people. You know, I think that Shaka and Jordan are a little bit closer than I don't really know Shaka that well, but I just watch. But Jordan and Shaka are very close, which is why their kind of career trajectory is very interesting alignment.
That's dope. So you've named a bunch of hitters, so I have to ask, from your music festival, but like what's one musician that you would love to have in the lineup?
Man, if I could have someone on my lineup, it would definitely be Kanye, man.
Easy.
I fucking love Ye, bro. I'll honestly say I love Kanye.
I got it right here, man. It's 808 Heartbreak.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see him in the background. I see you looking at me, Ye.
He's like, hi, I got you, bro.
Yeah, man. If I could do one with Ye and Hov would be such a amazing just show to do. That tour just chills. Chills thinking about it. I was listening to the Khaled shit that came out. Have you heard it today?
I've been listening to it all morning, bro.
I'm just like Nas and Jay-Z and James Conroy. I'm like, no, what did you just do, DJ Khaled, you asshole?
Yo, they were dropping the gospel. They were dropping the gospel on that track.
There's a lot of good music that came out today. I'm gonna listen to more of it today. Yeah, but those would be, if I could put together like a lineup, I'd do Jay, Kanye, and then I'd throw some Beyonce in there, and then I'd fucking fuck them all up with some Calvin Harris.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Calvin is Calvin's the man, yo.
I fucking love Calvin, man.
Yeah.
I fuck him up. I want to, like, it would definitely be like, I fucking go Cuddy in there.
Oh, the Cutter.
I want to make like an ultimate festival like that, like where people were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Like, let me know when you put that shit together. I'm there, bro.
God. I'm gonna let me know. God damn.
He said, "I'm gonna let me know."
Yeah. So yeah.
No, that's fire. So what is like the most dope event you've hosted or been a part of?
Number one show
And why?
I
Gotta hit why
and
too.
that I was actually sharing this the other day. The number one show that I've ever did was we actually did SZA's first show also. Yeah, so that was at Center Stage. I actually posted a picture of it the other day. It was me and SZA backstage, and it was just an emotional performance. You know, like I'm a big R&B guy. Like I like singers. I think that's probably why like my label is a lot of people that sing.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about like singers being able to tap into your like there's like some science behind it. Like there's certain chords that singers hit that like hit different organs of your body, and I don't know. I'll send you the research on it. But like
No, I believe it.
yeah, for whatever reason, like I've just always been tied to singers. So you know, I would yeah, I forgot where I was going with this.
No, so your best event was the SZA. You did
Oh yeah,
SZA in Atlanta.
yeah, oh yeah, so it was such an emotional event. So SZA was she was sick. She was sick, and she had a really bad cold. And I remember her in the back in the green room, just kind of drinking tea, and she just kind of looked just fatigued. And then she got on stage and delivered the most MJ dropping 60 points with the fucking flu performance that I have ever seen. And at that point, I've been to a lot of concerts, right? Like she literally just, it was so emotional. Like she was kind of crying on stage. She was doing this weird ass dance on stage, and the whole front row of girls bawling their eyes out. And when I'm watching this, I'm starting to get emotional. I'm like, oh, yeah, what's going on right now?
Your eyes were sweating.
Yeah, there's something was going on, bro. Someone was in the air. Like I remember that show like to this day. Like, you know, like it gives me chills. Like watching the recap video. Like I just remembered that when she sang. It was Broken Clocks, and there was another one. Crucify me. What's that fucking you know that track?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a good,
what is that
track.
Yo,
yeah, I can't remember. Bro.
I can't remember the last time. Yo, I swear, like if you would have saw the front row, the girls were just like ball, like she just killed it. And that like emotional connection that she had with the audience, you know, I just, you know, I've seen it before, I felt it before, but I think it was just, you know, it was just more something. Sometimes it's better to have an intimate event like that where you're in a closed room with you just 1,000 people over being in a closed room with 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 people, because right. You start building that intimate connection with those people that are in there with you. And she just grabbed the audience and they were just like locked in. Yeah. Like no one was moving out of the room. Everyone was just watching SZA. And you know, like that for me, like to this day, until someone unseats her. Yeah. Until someone unseats her. And a lot of times it's hard for me to act like I'm usually working at these concerts, you know. Jordan and Chase are the ones that are networking and talking to managers. I'm sweating, you know, running from here to there, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's a purpose for all of it. Like those they work hard, and you know, they work hard in that realm as well. Yeah. But yeah, like I actually had the opportunity to like sit and, you know, really just watch, and I was just like, whoa, shit gave me chills.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. And I imagine, like, to your point, like that closed setting, you don't get those many intimate opportunities like that. Yeah, especially when they start making it big. It's a tough one.
Intimate early SZA. It was so funny because after that show, we all flew out to LA for Grammy weekend, just to be out there for networking. And me, Jordan, and Chase were literally just kind of just all three was just walking down Venice Beach. And SZA just rides past us on a bicycle. We're like, what?
Only in LA. Only in LA, bro.
Only in LA.
Subtle bike rides right past, bro.
She's just on her hippie shit, just riding down Venice. And then like Chase is like, yo, So we stopped and we just politicking with her and our friend that was with her. She was just mad random. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
I know, that's just crazy, yo. So the last one I asked this on every show is, what is one music lyric or movie line that you live by?
Phew. Man, got this written down somewhere. So J. Cole is my favorite artist
Okay.
of all time, man. I appreciate the way that J. Cole talks his shit and also educates. I think that's important for me. Let me see if I can find this. So like Young Simba is one of my favorite J. Cole songs, just period, because like he made it during a time when I was also kind of in the trenches. So I just remember kind of like waking up and like just trying to manifest, just manifest every single day. Like, and I'm listening to these lyrics. I have this like inept thing in me where I just want to like put my team on and like help the people that are around me achieve everything they want to achieve. So he had a line like, me and Hov on the same island took a whip to the other side of Jamaica, seeing how he was living. I had to get my weight up. He said, I formulated my plan, motivated my dream, parlayed with my mans, and motivated my team. He said, look, my nigga, we got a footing. Woo! Yo, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I was like, yo, I used to like just rewind that shit over and over. It's like, yo, Cole, what are you, bro?
Right. Chill, bro. Chill.
Well, you gotta relax, man. Cause it painted a picture. Like he's like in Jamaica, he's just getting on and he's sitting up there with whole fucking Bentley mansions, and he's like, I want this. And he goes back to his team like, I need y'all niggas to get on your ass.
Right.
I need y'all to get on your shit.
It's time to
fucking go. And I think I've embodied that line a lot in my career, because I really do everything I can to feed my team. Like I put money in their pockets and their mouths. I make sure they eat, and I do that. I work hard just to do that for them.
Right.
So yeah,
and it makes it more worth it too when you're there, you look to your left, you look to your right, and your boys are there, and they're each doing their own different thing, but you're all coming together.
We building the empire, man. I think that's the goal. You know what I'm saying? We all got, matching Teslas with the milk and ADE fucking license plates in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
With the neon seats, with the pink neon seats. Yeah, man. Like that shit's coming, man.
Pull up.
That shit's coming very soon. Very soon.
Very much. Yo, Kevin, man, I really appreciate you for being on the show, man. This is really dope. Man. That Cole line's gonna be in my mind for a minute now.
Yeah. So. Oh my God, bro. That shit's fire.
I'll be in Atlanta soon, my guy. Talk to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, man.